Dumaguete.
Hello, Negros Oriental.
Hello, Sillimanians around the world.
This is Joshua Soldivillo.
And this is Ronelyn Vailoces-No.
You're watching #Silliman. All right, thank you very much. Very lovely, energetic introductions, girls. And as early as now, we would like to say congratulations. No, I understand that the journey to the crown is quite challenging, and you guys being here with that courage and that passion, and to represent what Miss Silliman is, that's already a big win for you guys, right, Ron?
That's true, Josh. So let's get to know our Miss Silliman, except for the names. We already know your names.
Yeah.
No, but I'd like to ask this question: why Miss Silliman? Miss Nursing.
I joined Miss Nursing, and part of the responsibilities of winning Miss Nursing is joining Miss Silliman. I have the option to say no, but I believe that Miss Silliman is that type of pageant that has purpose. And I want to be part of that long history of purposeful, empowered women in this 77th year of Miss Silliman. And with that, I want to use this as an avenue to spread my cause, share my thoughts, and get to know new people and learn new experiences as a Sillimanian.
Yeah, let's go to the Institute of Rehabilitative Sciences. What made you decide to join Miss Silliman?
Honestly speaking, I was kind of forced by my batch to join Miss IRS first.
One of those who were voluntold?
No, but not necessarily forced to do so.
Yeah.
That's because I was, just like everybody else here, I was scared to do it because there was a pageant first in our department before we got to choose a representative.
Right.
So I was the youngest in the batch. I was competing against third years. Everybody was my ate, and it was scary for me because this is my first year here in Dumaguete, in Silliman even. So how could I embody the values of a Silliman woman if I'm barely here yet? So aside from that, yes, I have to balance my class schedule, and also I'm a campus ambassador, so there's like a big responsibility to handle that as well. So it was kind of scary at first, but then when I started to get a grasp of what it really means to be a Miss Silliman or a Silliman woman, it was enlightening. It was a great journey for me to understand that this whole pageant, it's not all about beauty or just walking or talking. It's about the advocacy that we're fighting for. It's about the community that we build here in Silliman University. And I think that's my biggest takeaway from all of this. And just like everybody, this is a journey of self-discovery. So we entered Silliman, Miss Silliman, as a different person. And I know that we're gonna finish our Miss Silliman journey as a different person as well. And that is all.
Okay, Ron, speaking of discovery, guys, we actually prepared some questions here on our basket.
Are you ready?
Because we want to discover your answers to these questions were actually asked in the previous beauty pageant, Miss Universe Baron.
Yes. Both in the Philippines and so
Miss Universe Philippines and Miss Universe.
Yeah.
Okay. So all you have to do is just pick a question and then give it to me or to Ron, and we will read the question for you. And then we have, of course, our timer here, our Miss Silliman committee. You have, how many seconds do they have?
30 seconds.
30 seconds to answer the question. So girls, are you ready?
Well, you should be. Kasi enough time to prepare.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So perhaps we'll start with candidate number one.
Who'd like to volunteer? Who's the
Brave soul.
bravest?
As the senior citizen of the group, I will take the risk.
Okay.
Lord help me.
All right.
Go, let's go.
Let's do this.
Oh my God.
Ron, maybe you can read that question.
Yeah, I'll read the
Be
question.
kind to me, oh my God.
And the million-dollar question is, what would you say to the woman watching tonight who are currently experiencing sexual or domestic abuse?
Sexual or domestic abuse. I have no complete idea what you're going through, but I know that you're a strong woman for even still here in this world, fighting for what you have, fighting for that small amount of dignity that you may feel that you have left. What I can say is that being a woman is a constant struggle. Every day we decide to wake up and face these expectations of every woman, what we are told to do, how we should walk, how we should look. And you are a person who is living in that world, and you still decide to continue on living. So you have experienced that, and I am sorry that that is the reality of the world, but you are strong.
All right,
So
just right on the dot.
Sige. How about the Miss ICLS?
Hi.
What made you decide to join Miss Silliman?
So, good afternoon, ma'am. I actually joined Miss Silliman for the clout. Joke lang.
Sana all. Hashtag sana all for the cloud.
No, in reality, I joined Miss Silliman because of my purpose.
Yeah.
I have always been such an introverted person, but ever since I was a child, I've always had this singular dream that I wanted to make a difference in the lives of others. And how am I supposed to make that difference if I don't get out of that bubble? And so because medical technology has really helped me become the person that I am today, I have seen the struggles faced firsthand by our society, what they lack, what they need. And because of that, it sparked my advocacy, which is entitled Susi sa Kalusugan, and it emphasizes preventive healthcare and the importance of having people monitor their health. And that is really what drives me to be here today. It is my purpose, my cause, and the power that I believe every single woman has.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Miss ICLS. Now,
Of course, we
CBA.
have our candidate from the College of Business Administration.
Okay, your question is, if you could stop time for a day, how would you spend it?
I've been closely working with children, I think ever since I started my first year in high school. And so if I were given the chance to really stop time, I guess I would take the time to go to the most poorest places in the Philippines, or poverty-stricken places. For there, I can see their struggles, and I can see opportunities where I can give something and provide something for them. And so it is also a learning experience for me rather than it is for them. And so it's a two-way thing, giving blessings and also receiving.
Thank you very much for your wonderful answers. Josh, if you could stop time for a day, how will you spend it?
I will continue stopping it.
Okay, Josh.
Well, anyway, we have featured a lot of academic units here on the show. And tonight, we're featuring this occupant of the Science Complex building that I should say perhaps they eat numbers for breakfast. Or for dinner and lunch, differential and integral calculus perhaps. I'm talking our friends and colleagues from the mathematics department. So let us begin this conversation with the common impressions when somebody hears the word math, right? Because many would even choose courses or professions that do not have anything to do with mathematics, right?
Agree.
As much as possible. Okay, I don't want to brush elbows with mathematics. But let's talk about your personal journey. How did you fall in love with mathematics? What was the love story?
To be honest, it's not my first course.
Hindi first love.
I mean, like first choice of course. It's my first course, but not my first choice. My first choice still connected to math, and that would be civil engineering.
Ayun.
Yeah, but I believe God was eventually, tried to reroute me to mathematics because of some scholarships issues.
I see.
I chose BS mathematics, and I definitely didn't had any regret about that. I love math in the sense that first, I don't have to memorize anything. Like for me, if I understand this topic, I'm good to go. I don't want that kind of subject that if I couldn't remember, say, a sentence in it,
Yeah.
like I couldn't go to the entire understanding of that.
Right.
I don't like that. If I forgot a term, I couldn't move on. When dealing with mathematics, it's a never-ending domino effect that if someone would ask me, even if it's not about numbers, I can always relate it to mathematics, and that would be understanding connections.
What is your story, Victoria?
And actually, mine is pretty similar to mom's story, but mine is like mainly two aspects.
Yeah.
One is because of her.
Oh.
And then she was my teacher in grade 10, luckily. And then we're the only section were taught by her. And then it was like really enjoyable. Everyone in our class enjoyed the class. You know, other people were failing, but we're like,
There was no negotiation before this.
No
script. Okay. Just kidding. Yeah.
You know,
So
I'm
you,
aiming for the floor. I'm aiming for the floor.
so you were her grade 10 student.
Students, yeah.
Okay.
And then that was pretty much it. And then another thing is, I think I've always been interested in math, but like I never thought about like taking a BS math subject. I was always looking for something that's related to math. So I thought about, you know, accountancy, business management. I was like, you know what, why not just take BS math? And then if I was thinking about taking a master's degree abroad or somewhere, and then I can always shift to another degree. So I was like, math is the foundation of everything. Let's just start with math, and then we can go with, you know, business, finance, or economics in the future if ever I'm interested.
So, let us talk about this question. Is mathematics really hard? Mahirap ba ang math talaga? Or that's a subjective, or there's really some truth to it? Maybe Victoria, since
you first.
she's a student. Is math hard?
I mean, it's hard. Everything is hard. If you ask, you know, someone who is not interested in English major, of course, they will say it's hard as well. So it's a matter of perspective. You know, for everything, if you put your interest and hard work into it, it's gonna be, you know, easier, but not, you know, as difficult as it is. But I think math, through hard work, you can actually cultivate a lot of things by the end.
That you are the new generation of the mathematics department in the university. So, are there plans that you'd like to share with us that you are going to undertake in the very near future?
Yeah, definitely. We already have these plans, and trying to build those stones for that plan. One would be our department head, Assistant Professor Sharif Datar, mentioned about trying to extend to the community through research.
Yeah.
Like one, maybe we can give seminar workshops to different schools, tell them, enlighten them how to be good at connected to our field, methodology and research, and research designs, or methodology and the data analysis part of the research paper, so that as early as high school or senior high school, they will be well versed in research paper, and it wouldn't be that hard for them to think about research papers or thesis when they go to college. So that's one. Next, we also had this plan of having some tutorial classes, possibly once or twice in a semester. Like we'll go to specific schools and try to give math appreciation to them, so that at an early stage and early age, they would really be open to liking math.
Speaking of partners and friends, here in Silliman University, we also extend our community not only to our faculty, staff, administrators, and students, and of course our alumni, but of course to other friends and partners as well. I'm talking about the U.S. Embassy, and they are particularly working with us through American Spaces Philippines, more particularly through American Corner Dumaguete. We are very happy because you are joining us tonight, and of course, I think one of the most favorite spots of the library users when we had the library building then was actually the American Corner. Of course, not to mention the cooler air conditioning system of that corner in the library. But can you share to us exactly how does American Spaces work with Silliman University through American Corner Dumaguete, and of course the core objectives of establishing an American Corner here in Silliman?
Thank you for that question, Sir Josh. Actually, the existence of the American Corner here in Silliman University is very important really for the students, especially since this is an open access learning location or a space where we gather students, where they can have a discussion, where they can have a debate, a conversation regarding their projects or their plan for their studies. And we also provide effective programs following the 6 pillars of the American Spaces Philippines.
Ayun, may pa 6 pillars.
Yes,
Okay.
and one of that is the alumni engagements. We also have information about the US. We will not forget the English language teaching and
Yes.
learning, and also skill building. So I think the AC Dumaguete really gives a lasting impact to the students and also to the faculty members of the Silliman community, as well as to the people around the locality of Dumaguete City, because we do not only serve the Silliman community but
Right.
outside also.
So let's go now to the activities or programs that you usually sponsor, or if not lead. At the same time, if there are partners or other organizations you're working with, maybe we can also talk about that. Would be the yes.
For the programs and activities of ACES, for the past recent years, we have 2 massive open online course. The first one is the Community Organizing for Action through YCL Learns, of course, with partnership with the project STEMify, and of course, the massive open online course for COVID-19 Ambassadors Training Program. We also have Education USA and YCL.
What do you think is the contribution of American Corner Dumaguete to Silliman education? Because, of course, at the end of the day, what we're also trying to achieve is we want that the quality of service we give to our students also is improved, through time. So, what do you think is the contribution of American Corner in doing this?
Sir Josh, the very essence or the heart of AC, or the American Corner, is its commitment to providing public diplomacy programs which engage various local audiences. So we take pride in our community engagement because it helps us build relationships. It promotes collaboration and partnership between the Filipino and the American people. So that's one of our we are proud of as the American Corner team. And also, we take pride in how we support the young students with their advocacies, and I think you are a living testimony and sir, living legacy. So we have the AC facilitates for those student leaders, young leaders who wants to join the YCL program. I think that's it for our contribution.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Charmaine. Well, of course, this month of June, this is supposed to be the beginning of another academic calendar in the previous times, but this month, we commence our vacation. So happy vacation to everyone. But while everyone is so excited, preparing for their vacation dream or their destinations, there is this group in the university is also very busy making sure that everything is done rightly, perfectly and accurately. I'm talking about our members of the Portal Yearbook. Let us begin our conversation, Keanu and Kay, because the Portal Yearbook, obviously, we would see a lot of photos there, and then the location, their, address, right? And then messages from the dean. Ultimately, what is the purpose of a yearbook? Because we would say that, we see a lot of compilations there, information, but at the core, what's the purpose of a yearbook?
as a graduating student, I really believe that the main purpose of the yearbook is to collect or compile all the memories for that gulang na nga na. So you need to check if like one day mo look back ka nga, oh, this is my koan. This is how I look in college, and this is what we do in college time. So.
Okay.
Well, for me, I've been working in the yearbook for over 9 years now, and what I've learned is that it can be summarized into one word: memories. So the purpose of the yearbook is to collect memories that should last a lifetime.
So this 2023, Angeli, how did you come up with your theme, and what is your theme for 2023?
So the theme for Portal 2023 is Lukso, which is
Lukso.
Lukso, yeah, Bisaya term
So
for
that's Lukso, means to jump.
Jump,
right?
yeah, to leap. Lukso, leap into the next adventure. So it was quite a challenge really to come up with this theme because we don't know what like exact term to use or if we're gonna use leap or jump, but it's kind of awkward when put to use that word. So we really try our best to come up with the word until we like thought about it. What if we're gonna use like a Bisaya term this time, because for the previous years they've used an English term. So that's when we thought nga, okay, Lukso will be the perfect like term for like this year, especially that the graduating seniors this year, they spent 2 years of their university life online. And when like in 2019 they first came here in Silliman as a freshie, and when they came back here in 2022, like they're a senior right now. So imagine like the leap and the transition. The Lukso, yeah.
Okay.
That's why. Imagine like the Lukso, like nibalik kag Silliman, you're already a senior student right now. So it's different, like it's like personal for me because it's really different like coming back here as a senior. That's why Lukso really like encapsulates the theme for this.
So that's the theme for this year, friends. No, so Lukso, is there another phrases pa after?
Leap into the next adventure.
Ayun, Lukso, leap into the next adventure. So what do you think is the challenge that you see that you are going to face big time as you culminate the Portal 2023?
Well, I can say, since I was still back in 2014, the most important information is information.
Information.
The most important thing is to be sure that the details are correct and precise, and there are no wrong spellings. So, because it has been a very rampant problem in the yearbook for typographical errors and as well as misinformation.
So, in your participation, in your leadership, and we would say service to the university, what do you think is the biggest lesson that you have learned? Because I know you guys, you've been more than a year with the yearbook in the previous batch also of staffers. So far, what's the biggest learning, guys?
Go first.
Well, for me, I've been in the yearbook for 9 years, and I can...
That sounds so long, Kian.
It sounds so long. Back in 2014.
Almost a decade, okay.
Almost a decade. I started since I was in junior high, and one thing I learned is to do your job diligently and you know how to manage people, because it's all about conflict resolution in the end.
Conflict resolution.
And it's to respect people in all their backgrounds and to respond politely.
Ayun.
Even if they have smoke in their ears.
Okay.
As for me, I've been with Portal since 2021. Maybe the greatest lesson that I learned so far is to respect one another. It's because I learned that you all guys have the position, you all have the title, like the managing editor, the creative director, and each one of you makes decisions. So whatever like the other one decides, you should respect it, and also like probably to be objective in a way, and to be rational siguro, because as what Keanu said, it's all about conflict for us editorial board, especially me and Keanu. We don't do the dirty work, like the collecting of info. We just sit there and wait for planning lang kumbaga.
But that's quite a big task.
Big
guys.
task, yeah, that's why. So I really learned to be rational, so because you cannot just decide out of your emotion just because the people will complain, so you will just respond immediately. So you need to like sit down, pause, breathe, and really
Patience.
and to really think about it, because at the end of the day, it's for the betterment of like the yearbook and for Silliman as well.
But of course, here in Silliman University, friends, we do not only celebrate quality based on these numbers, but actually based as well on the achievements of our students. Let's begin our conversation with the recent programs or trainings or congress you've been participating.
Yes, so first and foremost, maayong gabi sa tanan. I just got home from the 4-day conference
Wow, may pasalubong ba dyan?
hosted by the Ayala Foundation, and the Congress is entitled Ayala Young Leaders Congress. Actually, it has been running for 25 years
25
now.
years, wow.
And AYLC is the flagship youth program of the Ayala companies and its corporation. And their core, cause is for youth advocacies and youth empowerment. And I am really glad, honored, and overwhelmed to represent Silliman across the pool of competent leaders in this country.
Of course, we also have here Elle, who I heard received a leadership award and recently also participated in a leadership training.
Yeah, this past year, sir, I am so blessed to actually go to Baguio twice. The first one was for the IYF, IYF Baguio 2023. That was the Interactive Youth Forum hosted by PAPSAS. I would like to thank really the SUSG Assembly for letting me represent them, and we're able to go there and learn a lot from different student leaders and do a lot of benchmarking as well. And the second Baguio trip, it was actually back-to-back.
Kota ka na sa Baguio.
Yes, but somebody really said that I made Baguio like my boulevard.
Yeah.
But the second trip was for APSAM, and this time I was representing the Silliman University Student Council, Senior High School Student Council. And there we had a conference, and we also participated in different activities. Like personally, I took up general information, modern dance, and yeah, there were a lot of other things that we did during that trip.
Yeah, that sounds so exciting, no? Like, who doesn't want to go to Baguio? And at the same time, learn a lot from all of these activities, leadership exposure, and get to expand your network and linkages with other leaders from the different schools. Now, the Ayala Youth Leaders Congress this year brought together more than 80 leaders, and I'm sure that's full pack in terms of activities. So if you are going to summarize it for our audience, dear Neth, what is really the goal of the Congress?
This year's theme for Ayala Young Leaders Congress, yung kasama ka. So
kasama ka. Sana all may kasama.
And then they go for inclusive, transformative leadership. And then
I love that.
Yes, and with Ayala, I've also learned to relearn some of the toxic practices as a leader. Now, this is quite personal with me. And then with Ayala, I've also learned to connect na hindi lahat kaya natin. We need someone na kasangga o kasama natin towards building a more peaceful, safe, and a progressive community.
Yes.
So
I think that's a basic tenet in leadership, that no man is an island, and we have to share resources, talents, and skills, and be able to work with others successfully, to achieve our goals. So let's go to Elle right now. Can you share to us how did you qualify for the National Leadership Award that you just received? And at the same time, what are also your key takeaways in the Baguio leadership trainings that you have attended?
Yeah, so for the AY Foundation National Discipline Award, I am also very grateful to the Silliman University Senior High School faculty. They were able to convene and endorse me as their candidate for this award, because it is actually conferred to about 14,000 schools, and
through that, there will be, since I am the endorsed candidate, I was able to go through an application process, and I wrote an essay for it, talking about my passion project called University Guild. And there I was able to explain, especially to the AY Foundation Board, what I really wanted to do with University Guild, and that is to build a training ground for student leaders, especially in Dumaguete City, to convene, to talk about issues, relevant topics that concern our community, and create projects that will target those same issues.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah.
Let's go to celebrations. Of course, as student leaders, you have your own victories in different respects. So how do you celebrate your successes? And perhaps you can also share to us, because I believe, celebrating a victory or a success, that really boosts the morale, of not only yourself as a student leader, but even the members of the group, right? So what are the ways that you acknowledge these victories and successes?
Okay, so for me, of course, we do love to celebrate
Yes,
success,
of course.
big or small. But in celebrating, I would also love to. I never failed to recognize the people who helped me get through that success. So I really do invite them, and I really do appreciate or have a gratitude message for them, because had it not been for them, I would not have progressed, something like that. And when it comes to my members, I really do love to compliment. I really do love to say, oh, you're doing a good job, oh, maganda yan, something like that, because that's the least thing I can do for them. I don't have the resources to give them money, but I do have the gift of the words to say that I'm happy for them.
And those are powerful and very meaningful, right? How about you, Elle?
I agree.
Is it like a Starbucks session or a milk tea session?
Hindi talaga. It really is in saying thank you, showing your gratitude to these people, because I think leadership, student leadership, service leadership is actually very selfless, and you go into it without thinking of a reward. Yeah. So for me, I would really like to thank family, friends, mentors, and especially the people who I worked with, because these initiatives would not come to life if it weren't for them. And saying thank you is really one way to express my love and gratitude to them.
Yeah, so that's very powerful. Gratitude is a kind of celebration, right? You celebrate your victory. Hey there, Sillimanians and friends of Silliman around the world. Daghang salamat for joining another episode of #Silliman. Of course, continue supporting our online platform, especially our Facebook page. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on your favorite episodes. We also have a YouTube channel. It's still called #Silliman. Don't forget to click the notification bell for you to be updated with our recent posts. See you there.
And catch us at Channel 6 Field Products every Monday at 8 p.m. Replays will be shown every Tuesday before the noontime news and every Saturday after the noontime news. This has been Ronelyn Faith by Vailoces-No.
And this has been Joshua Soldivillo. Kita-kits next week, only here on
#Silliman!